Hello everyone, welcome to day 106 of playing chess every day for you. Let's find the game. We're starting as black and we get d4, so I'll play d5. Knight comes up. I could play knight f6. Bishop comes out. Could bring my bishop. Could also play c4 here. c4 here looks okay. I'll play c5 or c4 from white's perspective if we were white. Develops the knight looking for this. I can stop this with knight a6 or knight h3. That's what I'll do. I would say my opponent almost blundered here because I was able to give a check attacking the knight, but they had knight jumps back. But then I could have taken here, so let me calculate check. Knight goes back. I can take check. The knight has to go back. I could then take and then play like this, which seems okay. I'll give this check. The knight is defended now by the bishop anyway, so I don't have to take. I do have this move maybe, but it doesn't achieve much. Could attack the knight with like this. The knight is almost trapped here. If I go here and the bishop comes in, I can't take. Well, I can, actually. I'll go after the knight. I don't like pushing, although pushing could allow me to win the knight. So if I take, my opponent takes, my queen's hanging, then I just go here. I could take because this is pinned. I do want to take this first. I can't take the pawn. I could just bring my queen back here to this square, but then my knight hangs. Terrible move. Now we're in a lot of trouble. Now queen hangs. We're going to lose the knight. I blundered a piece here, and the pawn's also defended. I could just recapture, and think I will. My rook can't go to g2 or g1 because of the bishop. The bishop could take, or the rook could take, but the rook taking comes with this, which is a threat. Now I'm in trouble here. King d8 doesn't look great. I could bring my knight this way. Also this is very weak after I go here. The bishop can always take, and the bishop does take. I can go here with tempo on this, which is a check. I'm probably in a lot of trouble here. It's a big gamble taking that, because these squares are cut off for my queen. c4 is hanging, or c3. Knight defense. I could take. Pushing locks the bishop out, but it weakens this. Maybe I need to push here, just to give my queen this square, because my queen is in a lot of trouble here. He doesn't really have any ways of attacking with the queen, but I want my bishop on this diagonal. Maybe I should push first, just to give my queen a bit more space. I think I'll push. I'm in so much trouble here. Also, castling would lose me my knight. My knight's still pinned to my king. I need to defend it. It does attack my knight. Also trying to kick my queen out. I'll defend my knight. I do lose this. I am down 2 points of material, because my opponent has 3 pieces for my extra pawn. And queen trade will help me. But if I go for queen trade, my opponent can... No, can't take. I think I just end up losing material here. I can't move the knight. I wish I could. I will go for queen trade, but the queen can probably just take here. But then this will be hanging, so no. My rook is hanging. Wow, that doesn't look great. I think my opponent had something better. I'll just take her. Even though we're still down material, it relieves some pressure from my position. Now this knight is hanging very badly. This check is probably very strong. I'm not sure if I have any ways of... I mean, I could defend it, this square. Then I get pinned, and I have to run. But I think that's actually the best choice. To play knight b8. So now we're just down a rook in this game, which is not gonna be very easy to win. My opponent takes. Can't go this way because there's discoveries. My opponent takes and I go this way. Probably just takes. I think I'll play this knight move. If he pins me, I go here. If I stay on the dark squares, I think I'll be able to survive this. My opponent's looking for ways to win my knight. If I bring my rook, I think I'll be okay. I have to protect the knight. I am down 5 points of material. A heavy piece. I blundered my knight in the opening. I got myself into trouble. I should have definitely used more time. I've used less than 5 minutes and we're already in almost an endgame. I need to start being more patient in openings. I think I definitely need to do much more opening study than I do right now, because I don't actually do any opening study. And I think that's part of the reason why I'm still stuck in the same elo range. I can see that my opponent can just take my c2 pawn or f7 pawn. The bishop steps back. This isn't checkmate, but I'm not able to castle, unfortunately, because the bishop's in my way. I can't move the bishop because it has to protect the knight from checkmate. I can't really move my king anywhere. This move looks good, but the bishop's there. I need to bring my rook into the game. I think I'll play rook f8, f7. Oh, that doesn't work, so my opponent can't really take, but it would be a sacrifice. They would get a pawn back, but rook comes in. I really wish I had some sort of attack or fork in this position, but I don't see anything that I could have. I can't even play rook e8 because I would lose it. And stepping my king away loses a pawn. And I can't actually move my king to e8, so this is just a horrible position. If I step this way, there aren't any checks. There's this check, actually, but... So I guess if I take him, my opponent takes, and I'm in trouble. But I don't see anything else that could work. Wow. My opponent blundered the rook. I am actually shocked. Wow. My opponent played rook c7 here. Well, technically that would be rook f2. Well, now I'm the one who can actually attack my opponent here. The knight has no mobility, it's almost trapped. I think I'll go after my opponent's rook. I'll be careful here not to blunder anything. But I don't see anything. I'm not sure if a rook trade would help me very much, but I guess I would be able to attack this. I'll step up here, activate my king. I lose a pawn, but I think if I can pin my opponent's knight, I'll be doing very well. My opponent moves, I just threaten to pin the knight and win. A trade here isn't amazing. The rook only has these two squares to go to. Decides to go after my pawn. I think my opponent won't be able to take because I'd pin, so... I also threaten checkmate here, so the king has to move. My opponent takes, I win the knight. And if the knight moves now, I have mate. The king has to move here. I think I just win a knight here. If the knight moves, check. Mate. I think I win the piece here. King moves, I pin, and I win the piece. And the game. If the knight moves, it's checkmate. Okay, makes room. I pick up the piece, and I'm going to win these pawns. So I guess here I can get behind the pawn and just push. Oh, I think I'm much quicker here. Gives up the piece. I have this. And my opponent resigns. And we somehow win this game. Even though we blundered completely in the opening. We somehow still luckily got a win. I played at an 81.6. My opponent played at a 72.2. I played like a 1350. My opponent like an 1100. We completely blundered in the opening. I guess played well in the middle game. Although we didn't really have any great moves. We had 1 blunder, 2 misses, and 20 good moves. My opponent had 2 blunders, 1 miss, 1 mistake, and 15 good moves. So we were completely losing this game. We were down 6 and even 5.5 most of the time in evaluation. 6.5 points of material down at one point. C4, C5 was a good move. It's strong. That's a mistake. So in this line, knight c3 is the best move, definitely. But now I take this pawn, and I have pressure on the knight. And the queen has to take. And I play knight to c6, which is strong. Forces the queen to a4. Bishop d7 draws the game. Queen takes a4 is best. Knight takes. Then we have e5. And we have the full center. So my opponent did make a big mistake with this knight move in the opening. Because this check just puts me in a much better position. Queen a5 check. Although I was too focused on stopping the fork, so played knight to a6, which wasn't bad, but queen check was much stronger. I gave the queen check now, which wasn't great, because now after this move the knight was defended, was protected. And this was my huge blunder. I have no idea why I took it, forgetting that the pawn will attack the knight. So we're actually already down 5 points of material in evaluation. And we're doing much worse. Queen takes b2 wasn't bad. Pushing was okay. We really had nothing else other than b3 here. Maybe the best move was to push. Just allowing the bishop some development. Maybe to just go for a trade. Instead I went for a queen trade. I have to take the queen first and then the bishop next. So this knight move actually wasn't the best. The best move was knight to b6 instead of ba. It's probably more active. The knight sees more squares though. Just these two. We're completely lost in this game. We're -6 in evaluation. Rook comes in, I defend the knight. I should have brought my rook to f8 already. My opponent doubles up. This check isn't the greatest. And very luckily for us, in one move, my opponent went from +5.5 to just a complete draw. I take the rook. And my opponent blunders here. My opponent completely blunders here because the rook has no way to get back to defending the king and the knight. So if I just saw rook to a8, I win a piece. Unfortunately, I didn't see that. So my opponent actually missed the trade. The trade here just almost draws the game. I play rook to b6 and suddenly I'm in a much better position. I win the knight, I win a pawn, and I promote. My opponent can't stop me from promoting. Taking with the king was actually best. I get to stop promotion and take, and this is just a win. Easy win for me. So this game both me and my opponent had Huge blunders. My only blunder this game was bishop takes b5 because it just loses a piece. So we lose 2 points of material. And we put under so much pressure. But somehow my opponent actually blundered back this game. Not seeing that my bishop can take. I win the knight. I promote. Stop my opponent promoting. And there's checkmate in 5 here. And we somehow managed to get a win here. I need to start studying responses to d4. I do like playing d5. And I played 3 good moves, but made a mistake here. I had a way to win material here. So I do need to start studying what to play against d4. Maybe knight f6, and other moves, like maybe a gambit. The England gambit isn't good, but I need to study new openings and new defenses against openings. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.